Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has just been released. Or well, it was released 13 years ago, but Activision ran out of numbers since they only have access to 1 through 3, except Black Ops has a 4, so. Anyway, Modern Warfare 2, the second, parentheses 2022, is out, and it got me thinking about the good old days of Call of Duty. Since the last couple years have been a bit... So let's rewind the clock and look back at what I and many others consider the best games in this stagnating franchise. The world had no idea what was about to happen to it when Infinity Ward released Modern Warfare, the original, in 2007. Previous CODs had been decent, especially Call of Duty 2, but they had yet to take over the FPS genre. Halo 1 was released a couple years before COD even existed, and it became the new standard for first-person shooters. It really wasn't until Modern Warfare that COD began its domination. So what made it so good? For starters, the campaign was incredible. This is where we met some of the most legendary characters in video games, including Captain John Price and John Soap McTavish. The plot dealt with political turmoil, nuclear warfare, and the threat of world war. This is where the beloved Modern Warfare trilogy began, which still stands as the best story arc in the whole COD franchise. Modern Warfare is also where Call of Duty multiplayer really took off. The maps were fantastic, and we had plenty of content to keep us satisfied for ages. Activision actually decided to remaster this game in 2016, solidifying Modern Warfare as one of the most influential and successful games in the series. And let's not forget...
Oh, baby, a triple!
For me, Modern Warfare is a 9 out of 10. If the first game reinvented the Call of Duty formula, then 2009's Modern Warfare 2 perfected it. Once again, the campaign was great. It had good storytelling, with extremely intense missions like fighting off a Russian invasion in a destroyed Washington, D.C. And of course, the famous...
No Russian.
In addition to a great single-player campaign, we also got Spec Ops. This was a game mode where players could take on various scenarios like rescuing hostages, surviving waves of enemies, or going on stealth missions. And the best part? You could play these in either split-screen co-op or online if you wanted to. Now for the multiplayer. Do I even need to say anything? You and I both know we all played this game every day for months on end after getting home from work or school. The legendary trash talk that happened in the lobbies, the noob tubing from Spawn, the addition of the tactical nuke as a 25-point kill streak, the absolute laser beam guns, and pixel-perfect hit registration. Pew pew. Iconic maps like Rust and High Rise. In my opinion, Modern Warfare 2 has the best multiplayer in the entire Call of Duty series to this day. 10 out of 10. And now for the entry that you've all been waiting for. The fan favorite. The one COD to rule them all. Call of Duty Black Ops. This game has the best single-player campaign in the entire series. The Cold War era setting was immersive and different from anything we'd seen before. The missions were awesome, taking you through different locales all over the world in regions that are rarely featured in video games. I won't spoil this masterpiece of a story for the few of you that haven't played it yet, but I'll just say...
The numbers! What are they saying?
While I don't think the multiplayer was Black Ops' strong suit, it was still good and easily outclassed many of the entries that followed it. Infinite Warfare, am I right? However, this game introduced the most legendary map in COD history, Nuketown. Since its initial release, Nuketown has been ported and updated over and over in a number of different COD games, and people still love it to this day. I'm one of them. Black Ops also had a solid implementation of Treyarch's famous zombie game mode. Including DLC, there were a total of 7 new zombie maps, including the Moon. How can this not be the best when it lets you fight zombies on the moon? One of the DLC packs also included 4 remastered maps from World at War, bringing the total up to 11 zombie maps. That's a huge amount of content. Ain't that right, Black Ops 4? Call of Duty Black Ops is another 10 out of 10. Before we decide on what the best Call of Duty is, I'd like to make a couple of honorable mentions. The first is World at War. This game had a gritty, hard-hitting campaign set in World War II. Its claim to fame, however, is that this is the origin of the famous zombie game mode. While it doesn't have the best version of zombies, World at War deserves credit for establishing an iconic mode for all Treyarch games moving forward. The other honorable mention is my favorite game, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. While MW3 only made some slight tweaks and additions to MW2's formula, this is the game that I played the most by far, so I wanted to include it. And now to answer the question, what is the best Call of Duty of all time? After looking at the most legendary games in the franchise, it comes down to these two, Black Ops and Modern Warfare 2. Before I make the grand reveal, tell me in the comments, what's your favorite Call of Duty and why?
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for.
And the best Call of Duty is...